So, moving on to the show, we got a lot of show, and I want you guys to see why I use that. Use the Hawaii 5-0. We didn't get to some of the other people who have started to say Kathleen Bennett's name recently. And the reason why this has been so disturbing is because of the poor media coverage, the hack job media coverage, insincere, tone-deaf media, so-called media, faux media coverage that Activate Now, Truth Against the Machine, and other live streamers were giving to this very, very serious and important case of a water protector's innocence. So, we asked that people send us information about anybody that's now saying Kathleen Bennett's name. I told you guys, if you want to find out who the people are out there who are questionable, all you got to do is say the magic words. Free Kathleen Bennett, and you'll see magic things happen. People will block you. People will shut you down. And if you've been watching our coverage, you know that this woman is completely and totally innocent and that there's no evidence whatsoever. None. Zero. All there was rumor, innuendo, lies. So we have been breaking down the story for you with investigative journalism, interviews, evidence. And we brought you, on the first installment of this Veteran Stand and Respond and Beyond show, an interview I did with Sadef, Buyakataman.
Yes, that's it.
I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I don't have it up on the thing right now. And Chris Dusing.
Yes.
Okay? And we showed you that there has been groups that have splintered off of the original Veteran Stand for Standing Rock, became Veteran Stand, and then became Veterans Respond, and then it became the Veterans Service Corps, or people from those groups started new groups, and I called it rebranding. They just started a new thing, but it was the same people from the old thing, right? And then they wanted to distance themselves from other certain veterans or other certain people, and then they're like, okay, we're going to form a new group over here, and there's money involved, and there's no audit, and nobody's given us the audit. It's driving me crazy, honey. That microphone thing is like,
there.
But then it just, okay, don't move. Stay right there. I want to show you how all of these things are connected. And I'm going to go back to Ed Higgins, and then we'll be back to Ed Higgins later on, okay? So let's find out, what has Ed Higgins been up to? Y'all saw him crying out in a field out here in North Dakota. Remember that? When he was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's happening to me. And then he was at a hotel with Armando Tellez.
Yeah.
Now let me tell y'all, Armando showed up out of the woodwork very recently saying that he had been in Kathleen Bennett's Tarpey and seen Mary. And that they had given him the opportunity to spend the night on a day that he was in a lot of trouble and needed help. And he said that he saw no signs of elder abuse when I spoke to him. But he never got back in touch, even though he said he was going to help. And I will say, I found it very interesting that he showed up at the People Summit and was hanging out with Ed Higgins.
Yeah.
And then that he was hanging out with Ed Higgins in Bismarck. Right around the time that the Water Protector Legal Collective was doing all sorts of shady stuff in getting Kathleen Bennett out of jail and not telling her attorney about it.
Oh, yeah.
And I also found it very interesting that all of this happened and Armando and Ed Higgins were hanging out in a Bismarck hotel in Bismarck. Just hanging out for no reason. Just hanging out in Bismarck. Anyway, This is where they went afterwards. Let's show them where they were. They were in Hawaii. And look who's there. Mama LaDonna. LaDonna Brave Bull Allard. She's hanging out in Hawaii. And who else was there? What else you got? No, go to Armando. Let's go backwards in time. This is when he was headed out there. He says, heading to Minneapolis for a 5-hour layover if anyone wants to hit us up with Ed Higgins. Ed Higgins and Armando Tellez. That's the guy I told you showed up in the Tarpey. Okay, next. Then we have LaDonna. Now, this is on May 28th, it looks like. I can't see the numbers. They're too tiny for my eyes.
Yeah.
Go back to Ed in Hawaii. Go back to, yes, you see that girl in the background next to LaDonna that's got a phone in her hand with black and pink. She's holding up her arm, sort of not in a fist, smiling. Okay, now go back to LaDonna Hawaii pic up at the top. See that girl that's hunching on the ground with Keep Calm t-shirt on next to Ed Higgins? It's the same girl.
I see.
Look, here they're all hanging out together. There's Ed. And then look who's that behind him. It's that guy, Armando Tellez.
Exactly.
And next to that is Mona from Activate Now. And they're hanging out with LaDonna and that one lady in the yellow shirt. She's in that picture that we showed people of Christina Hollenbeck and Vanessa Brave Bull, Red Bull, excuse me, Vanessa Red Bull Bolin in D.C. When they went to the Women's March. So, and I think that woman laying down on the ground is from Women Indigenous Media.
Okay.
I think, I'm not sure, I can't remember. Next I want you to show, I'm going to go back in time even further.
All right.
And show you other people that these folks are connected to. Let's look at brunch number 1 photo. Yeah. Look at them. They're all together. And let's see how many people we can this guy in the front, his name is Raymond Kingfisher. Now, look on the right-hand side. The second woman, not the one with the tattoos on her chin, the second woman back, that's that lady in that other picture. Huh? Go back to LaDonna Hawaii pic. Look at the woman in the yellow shirt. Right there. You see that? Isn't that her? I think that's her. Maybe I'm wrong. I think that's her. Go back. Maybe not. Her hair's a little bit different.
Yeah.
No. All right. But she looks very familiar, too. Maybe she's the one that's in that other picture with the DC thing. I thought she was the same woman. There's Linda Black Elk. Then behind her is Winnea Locke. They're all sitting in a, like, cafe, restaurant style place, right? And there's like 3 chairs stuck together in this long procession of people. And behind Winnea Locke is someone I can't see in a hat. And then behind that, you guys see who that is? Why, it's Miss Pink Hair Christina Hollenbeck from the Nexus Group. Remember her? And I can't see who the guy is behind that. Then on the other side, starting in the front, I can't remember her name, but she posted this picture. So the next pic we show is the comments from this picture, which will show us the date. And this was all done this all happened in D.C., folks.
Yep.
It happened in D.C. In fact, look at the clothes that Winnea, that Linda Black Elk, and that woman right in front of her are all wearing, and the scarf. Notice the clothes. There's Winnea wearing this medallion bead necklace, right, in the black shirt, and Linda Black Elk is wearing the red shirt, and I don't know who that woman is next to them, but she's wearing the black shirt, the black sweater, long sleeves, with a purple and blue, teal looking scarf, right? Okay. And then behind them is Christina Hollenbach, and she looks like she's wearing some kind of a gray colored tee or blouse and some kind of black sweater top, maybe. Okay, next side, I do not recognize any of those people. So, let's go to the comments now, and it says, Raymond Kingfisher, the guy that posted it, on March 11. And that woman all the way in the front, I think her name is Laura Sage. That's the one I thought. There's another one picture that we're going to show right now that was posted by her. But the other people, so they were having lunch at Zaitina. And it says, awesome crew of water protectors. Aho! Creator, Mahejo.
Oh, yeah.
For all the blessings. Eating brunch with Natalie Forrest Perez, Laura Sage, Tony Cervantes. Is that who that woman is that is in the picture? I think it is her because she posted that picture of the brunch lunch that in DC thing. Okay, go back to the thing. And then it says, Wikapi, Wow Okiyasawin and Norman Redwing, Ty Joseph Flute, Christina Hollenbach, Wania Locke, Paula Antoine, Linda Black Elk, Kenwani Kahi, Ryan Kravitz at Zatina's. Okay? Next, we have another picture. This is also from that time. You skipped up a different picture. Go down. Keep going.
Sorry.
You skipped another picture. Before this, there's another picture. There's a different picture that we're missing here. Yeah, there was another brunch picture.
Sorry.
That's supposed to be in here.
Sorry, you don't have it.
Can you grab it? I'll tell you about it. It's a picture that has Ed Higgins in it. And it is one of those pictures in that folder. If you go to it, I'll help you find it real quick. Because it's a pretty important picture. And all you need to do is scroll up on the screen. Okay. And it should be right around here. Keep going up.
Right to ahead there.
Really? There should be another one. Darn it. Foiled again.
Oh, yeah. Was it this one?
Yeah, it is. That's the one right there. We need that picture. It's another brunch in which Mr. Kingfisher appears.
Ah.
And I don't know much about him, but he shows up with a lot of these folks. So I'm going to check him out more for sure. Again, his name is Raymond Kingfisher. And he was having brunch with all these folks in D.C. at the time when they went to the D.C. Women's March. Remember that, guys? A bunch of the people. This was right after the camps were evacuated. Right after the camps were shut down. I mean, people were still in mourning, practically. And then all of a sudden, it's like, everybody's going to D.C. People were like, oh, I'm so distraught. And then somehow they found the strength to go to D.C.
There's a picture.
Okay. So here is the picture. Look there's Mr. Kingfisher standing up. Okay, now on the left side, this is a different diner, it looks like to me. Okay? I believe, can you show the comments too in a second here? Like by scrolling it over? But not yet, okay?
Right.
On the left side, you see at the very front, Ed Higgins here. And then behind him, I don't know who that is. And behind that dude, I don't know who that lady is. And then there's a dude after that, and then there's a lady. And on the right-hand side, hey, is that Mrs. Sage back there. I can't tell. Her face is too little. Right hand side we have Myron Dewey of Digital Smoke Signals, everybody. And then there's somebody in pink. I can't tell who that is. And next to that, is that Evan Duke?
Don't know.
Yeah, I think it's Evan Duke. That's Evan Duke. I don't know if he's wearing the pink thing, but he's definitely the next head that's visible. And then there's a dude after that, and I can't tell who that is. Okay. So here's the comment. It was Laura Sage. Wow. This was posted March 12th. This is the very next day after all those other people are having lunch together. And it says, there are so many heroes present that they had to add another table. Heroes. Hashtag Water is Life with Raymond L. Kingfisher, Derek Toro, Kelly Salazar, Jameson Dargan, Tina Pugliese, Nathan Patton, Tim Schwartz, and Myron Dewey. That's who was hanging out in D.C. together. They were all hanging out together. And guess who else was hanging out in D.C.? Now I want to show you the monument picture. Go to the next one, which is the monument picture. Look who's hanging out. This is at the National Monument in Washington. Why, there's Armando Tellez, the guy that was just in Hawaii with Ed Higgins. And who's that down there in the very front? They're like obviously inside of a teepee in this picture. And they're like in 3 or 4 different rows, standing, sitting on the floor. All the way in the front. Why, that's the lady that was promoting Mulaney Stoneman at the closure of the camps as one of the people that would help you evacuate. Holy Elk Lafferty. And there's Mr. Raymond Fisher all the way on the right. And I don't recognize anybody else. Maybe you do. If you do, let me know. Next. That's the post information. Holy Elk Lafferty posted that picture on March 10th. Okay. In a teepee, she says, at the National Monument in Washington, D.C., with my Ocheti Tiwahe, with Raymond L. Fisher, Kingfisher, David Vlo Rodriguez, Frankie So Jr., and 12 others. National Monument, Washington, D.C. Okay, then, guess who else was out in D.C.? Imagine that. It's Mulaney. This was sent to me by Russell Vasquez, watching live streams of people out in D.C. Imagine the pain he felt while his grandma was in a hospital dying at the hands of this crazy lady.
Yeah.
This sadistic woman. She's out in D.C. celebrating at a women's march. Everybody. Celebrating with all these women that claim to care about indigenous women. And Kathleen is sitting in a jail and her mom is dying in a hospital. And they're having a good old time. And Russell sees them.
Yeah.
And he sends me this post. Mulaney, Vanessa Bolin, and her little team are rounding the teepee in D.C. right now. I wonder if that's the teepee they were all taking a picture inside of.
I think so.
You think? And look at that. There's some pictures he sent me. Now I'm going to blow these pictures up. Keep scrolling down first. Let's finish reading what he says. Keep scrolling down. If you open the second photo, she is the one hugging. You can see that woman right there. Now let's go to the picture numbers 1. There's Mulaney right there, wearing her glasses, right? Getting a big old hug on Women's Day. The Women's Day March. Number 3, here is a picture of Vanessa Bolin. She's standing there in her skirt right in the center. Right in the center of the picture. They're next to a teepee, and they're surrounded by marchers, I guess. Lots of people taking pictures. And next, I want to show you who Vanessa was hanging out with out there. Oh, look, everybody. There's that same necklace, beaded necklace with the medallion in the front. There's that same shirt on March 11th, the same day they were having lunch, all of them in that diner, Linda Black Elk, Winnea Locke, Paula Antonio, and there is Vanessa Boland. These two women in the back, as you know, have put an innocent woman in jail and nearly killed an elder. Particularly Vanessa Boland, because she had no reason to send this woman to the hospital. She knew.
Mm-hmm.
She says she knew there was absolutely nothing wrong with her. And yet she sent her to a place where indigenous people are traditionally oppressed, mistreated, discriminated against, and killed by the system. And both her and Christina claim to know these things as progressive white women,
Yeah.
right? Progressive as they get, according to Christina, but for some reason, she still sent this innocent woman there, and she kept tabs on her. Her and Grizzly and Mowgli, these people were spying on this family
Mm-hmm.
and trying to set them up for a crime that could have cost someone their life. And they're out celebrating themselves as hero water protectors. Note what they're doing. Vanessa Boland is almost close to being featured along with Olive and some other women in documentaries. It's really it's really sick. Mulaney was featured in the documentary that Myron Dewey has been hawking all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, don't we have a post from LaDonna where she and Myron Dewey, we have a post from Myron Dewey too. Let's go to the Myron Dewey post.
All right.
Because he had something to say. Somebody sent him a message and said, Morton County Jail, she's been in Morton County Jail on false and fabricated charges. Help this water protector get back to her family. Find out more by watching our latest live stream here. Then do what you can do to free Kathleen Bennett. And he says, I agree. All Charles dropped. All charges dropped. Look at that. And I know for a fact that there was a time that people that heard about this case, even some of the witnesses in this case, went to Myron Dewey and begged him to please talk about Kathleen Bennett's case. And he said he did not want to, and he did not want to even be associated with this. Why is that? Is it because you're associated with people that condemned her? Is it because you're associated with people like Ed Higgins and Activate Now and Mike Fassig and Aubrey Peckham? Is it because you're associated with all of these fake people from these fake news networks with these fake backstories that have committed crimes and assaulted people? Is it because you featured Mulaney Stoneman, a criminal, kidnapper, elder abuser in your film? Is that why? I'm just guessing. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, he ended up saying something. That was a post I actually wrote. It was I sent it to a bunch of people, and we're asking them to do what they can to free Kathleen Bennett, and no one was saying her name. No one was saying her name. And so that came back from a post I had posted. I basically sent it by messenger to him. And then he wrote back right around the time Kathleen was about to be bailed out. That's when that response came.
Huh. How convenient.
Yep, definitely.
Okay. What do we have next?
Well, like I said, that people weren't saying her name, and they all of a sudden started saying her name.
Oh, LaDonna did too, didn't she?
Yeah, so LaDonna. Basically, it was a post, Josh Long did free Kathleen Bennett, and LaDonna said, she's out. She's out. It's like...
She is out.
It's not like great news. She's been bailed out. People are starting to say her name, working on her case. She's like, she's out.
And then Josh says, LaDonna, yes, finally, some much needed good news. Hope you are well. Maggie says, LaDonna, finally, after nearly 6 months, The army of support is here and going nowhere, not leaving any water protectors behind, no innocent women behind bars. Hashtag free Kathleen Bennett and remove all 15 years worth of fraudulent charges on her. Protect the water and karma is good. Protect the money and we have all seen the bad things happening to those who did and who are. Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Snap, snap, snap. And then and then Josh says, Maggie, LaDonna, you're right, but she is not free yet. That's right, Josh. She's out is an inaccurate representation of what is going on. She is on bail.
Mm-hmm.
She is not free. And she's not free of these charges. She's not free to see her mother. She's
Yes.
not free to see her son. She
Yes.
is not free to travel. She is not free. Maggie says, Josh Long, not free yet. We'll be watching and fighting every step of this battle against corruption and dishonesty. Happy she is out on bail today. And Josh says, we have sacrificed much for her truth. Those who stood in solidarity back then stand in solidarity and peace still. Peace, patience, and persistence will prevail. Maggie says, Josh, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, and then we have a video of Ed
Coming back from
coming
Hawaii.
back from Hawaii, red as a tomato, and they ask him about Kathleen Bennett on his feed, and he is so snotty.
Angie, Kathleen Bennett's free. Stop.
That was weird.
Stop? Stop what? Stop saying free Kathleen Bennett? Stop asking why you have been so shady? Stop asking questions about Activate Now?
Yeah, remember.
Stop saying her name?
Remember, this guy was looking up her name on Google to see if she even existed about 2 weeks before that. Does she exist? And he had talked about her back in February.
And then he did a drunk live stream from the back of a car
Yeah.
with Mona, where Mona goes, oh my God, if she really did that, maybe she should be in jail. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know she didn't do that. He was on our first show.
Yep.
And he's sitting there letting her spew this nonsense. I don't know which was worse, him and Mona or Chelsea and Ernesto and their stupid puppet on Truth Against the Machine. All of it made me sick, as did Jordan's little, I don't have time for this. I'm too busy.
Yeah.
I got better things to do. I heard you were out in Miami having a good time and taking some time off. And wah, you're so tired. You haven't had a vacation.
Yeah.
Sounds like you were getting plenty of R&R and lots of different beds out at Standing Rock. And you know what? It's work. It's called journalism. It's called work. I haven't had a vacation in over 2 years, I think.
Exactly.
So,
And we're working hard on this stuff, and we want to put this information out so you can see it, and that people can keep tuned in because the work continues. The work needs to happen continually. Working through the lawyer and trying to work on that aspect, but we're also working on people's knowledge. We're trying to raise money for the defense fund because this is going to be expensive. I mean, this is 2 trials, and the state really has it in to pursue this. They just don't get dismissed. So we're very busy, and we're not taking vacations. We're working on this every day.
working on it when we're sick, working on it when we're tired.
Yeah.
Working on it when we have our own family issues or problems, working on it when there's a storm, working on it when we got haters and trolls.
Yep.
My own family members are so angry at me because I haven't talked to them or visited them in over a year. My dad is threatening to come and see me unannounced. Okay? So I have 0 tears for you. I have 0 tears for all of you who are so annoyed, who are trying to play catch up, but you're really just doing a hack job in the way that you're disrespecting the importance of this story and the magnitude of work that's been done and the reporters who have been doing it. Okay? Because if you can't even hear from us when we're telling you you're screwing the pooch, there's something wrong.
Exactly.
If you're working in solidarity, you should be listening to the people that have been doing this work the longest. moving on, folks, I want to go to how all of this connects us to the Veterans Stand for Standing Rock, because there's some connections.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to start by showing you the Veterans Stand. You know, their original thing was Veterans Stand for Standing Rock, right? That was the thing.
Yep.
And then it became Veterans Stand. Veterans Stand. And here is like Sedef B. I'm going to call her Sedef B.
Yep.
And there's Chris Dusing next to her. And then there's this other dude over there. I do not know his name.
No.
I think. Is that Brendan Boucher?
Maybe.
The CFO that Michael talked to me about? We'll get to him in a bit. There is a guy named Brendan Boucher, and he is the Chief Financial Officer for Veterans Stand with Michael Wood Jr. If you will recall, he told me this from his interview in which I mentioned that I had gotten an email from said Brendan Boucher. Do you have that email?
Not up right now.
Okay. Do you know where it is? Do we have it for the show?
Nope. We didn't put that in.
We didn't put it in?
Nope.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember there was two of them, and I told you there's two of them. And I sent them both to you.
Yep, we didn't get them in when we were putting stuff in together.
Oh. All right. Okay, I'm going to show those to you some other time. But he did send me 2 emails in which he told me that one of them, he's like, hey, I heard you guys did a great job interviewing Bill Runningfisher, and we'd love to get that interview for our own investigations. They're doing an investigation, they said, and they needed this information for their investigation. Also, they wanted the invoices, which they already had. This is the weird part, because they already had them. And I'm going to show to you that they already had them because there was a Twitter war between L'Oreal Blackshaw and Michael Wood Jr. way back when they invoiced them on December 17th. I think it was December 18th, 19th. Like, over this period of time, there was this Twitter war in which these invoices got put out on the internet, on her Facebook page. They were publicly available everywhere. And this guy was sending me a message asking me to send him the invoices I got.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, do you know how to use the Googles? And then I think he misspelled the word investigator or something weird about the email. And I'm like, is this for real? So I didn't really respond until I talked to Michael A. Wood Jr. and I said, is this guy your CFO? And he said, yes, I think that's the guy in this picture, but I'm not for sure because I haven't, there's another picture coming up. So I'm going to write, I'm going to make notes for myself. We are missing the emails, right?
Yep.
For Veterans Stand.
We can show them another time.
Brendan
From the CFO.
Boucher. We're going to get back to him. Next, they became Veterans Respond. Veterans Respond, Healing Through Service. Now, check out the date. This is February 5th. Okay? Now, go to the picture of Ed Higgins, December 10th. If you'll notice, there was a picture from way back on December 10th when they were all still part of Veterans Stand for Standing Rock. All of these people from left to right, Ed Higgins, Evan Duke, in the front there is Tulsi Gabbard from when she went to visit, which was shortly after the Veterans Ride on December 5th, I think, or the 4th or whatever it was, right?
Yep.
Everybody with me here? I don't know who that dude is in the back, but next to Tulsi Gabbard is that Jesse Ilnicki. Jesse Ilnicki, folks. Remember him in the picture with Chelsea Lyons? Everybody, are you keeping up with me? How all these people are connected? As much as they say, I don't have anything to do. Truth Against the Machine has nothing to do with Activate Now and Higgins.
Exactly.
Okay, well, how come you all are sleeping with each other and hanging out? I just have questions about that. And then behind Jesse Olnicki is some dude in a beard. And then there's this lady all the way at the front whose name is was Brandy Paisano. Her name is Brandy Paisano, who works with Veterans Stand. Okay? Look at her. She is I believe, a Pueblo veteran. We'll get to her in a minute, guys. We'll get to her in a minute. And then behind her is Beardy Guy 2.
Yep.
I don't know who he is. If you guys know, put it into comments. Just label it Beardy Guy 1, Beardy Guy 2, and I'll remember where we were. Okay, so if you guys that are out in radio world or are listening to this in the podcast are missing out on the photos, go to kpppfm.com, click on the show, and you will be able to find the video right there. You don't have to hunt through our Facebook page, but also go to our Facebook page and like it. And get notifications of when we do our show so that you can follow along.
Exactly.
And then you can comment, even though I'm not reading the comments. But I guess you guys love to interact with each other. Just pay attention, kids. Stop with the fighting so much. Okay, then. Next, here is the post message that went up with this. It was posted by Roque Amory Teneo. I'm guessing one of those guys we couldn't identify. The two beardy guys and the non-beardy guy that I couldn't identify might be one of those people. And it says, via Tulsi Gabbard. This was posted on December 10th, 2016, after she left KK last Sunday night at hashtag Standing Rock with fellow veterans at their camp. They established a command team and an operational TOC. I think that's the building that they're in.
I think so.
And are assisting with safety and security operations in the camp. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
That's a Congress member conveying to you what Ed Higgins and these vets were up to. So it doesn't matter how many times Michael A. Wood Jr. on Twitter or Facebook or any other place tries to deny that these veterans were out there doing security operations, safety and security operations at the camp. That is exactly what they were doing. That's what L'Oreal Blackshaw was doing with Bill Running Fisher and some of these other yahoos like Von Balaj. Okay? And they were getting paid by Sadef B, by Michael A. Wood Jr. They committed crimes against innocent people, and they were getting paid to do so. Let's keep that straight. Okay, then it says, continues, they are in this for the long haul. Oh, excuse me. I'm honored to have met these incredible veterans who inspire as they continue their mission of service. They are in this one for the long haul, planning to stay until the drilling pad and construction equipment are removed. Did that happen?
Nope.
No. And did they actually help to remove innocent water protectors that were there to save their own water in their own land? People who are from that land, natives that are from that land, like Mary and Kathleen and Russell.
Exactly.
That's the people they removed. I mean, these people in many ways helped to kill this camp. And then here is, and notice that those veterans respond. If you go back to that veterans respond thing, they used the same picture. That's the same picture, folks. They didn't even get a new, they just like, oh yeah, let's get Ed Higgins out of there.
Yeah, just got Ed Higgins out. And
that's the only thing they did, is that they cut him out of the picture. Notice how everyone cuts that dead weight?
Yep.
They're like, get him out of there. Okay, next we have Evan Duke. Evan, last name Duke, says sent to Jay. I don't know who that is. Maybe it's Jay Ponte. He's one of those people that had been involved in a lot of this. And it says, Evan Duke, this is a text message, a message, I think that was sent in a group. I don't know exactly. Looks like it to me. And there's the guy that's Evan Duke. You can see his face right there.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Duke, Michael Sullivan, and Ed Higgins with Veterans for Peace were chosen as the veterans detail to escort Tulsi Gabbard to camp. Notice that Ed Higgins cannot stop talking about this.
Yes, yes.
This is one of his crowning moments of glory.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be really impressed with myself if I had gotten myself on this kind of a detail with his background.
Yeah.
With his background.
Yeah.
Especially with women. It says, we are also heading up the construction of the Veterans for Peace, Veterans for Standing Rock, Forward Field Command and Barracks. Second confirmation, folks. Forward Field Command for Veterans for Standing Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Higgins. Are you following me, guys? Okay, next. JR American Horse and Wes Clark have requested Tulsi to be able to brief with veterans upon arrival before the press.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So here they're talking about Wes Clark. Look at all the people that were put in danger by having these yahoos there.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. How did this even happen? And next we have the day following arrival is for Standing Rock and to host Tulsi as they see fit. Man, all of these people, and they had Ed Higgins.
Yes. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And remember, Ed Higgins was the one that went and told Wes that L'Oreal Blackshaw was handing out drink tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Yep.
He was in the pavilion that day. And I know because Kathleen Bennett told me. She was there. She saw the forgiveness ceremony. She saw Wes
Wow.
in his uniform. Kathleen Bennett saw him. And all of these people were there
Mm-hmm.
with Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
They targeted these same people were involved in targeting Kathleen Bennett and her mom.
Wow.
Thankfully, some people, like Wes, have been helping that family. But that it cannot be said for Ed Higgins. You've seen how he has behaved, and he claims to be a Marine. He claims to be somebody that would not leave anybody behind. These people claim to be healing through service. They claim that they are there to protect innocent people. Okay? Mary is not only one of the descendants of the last remaining survivors of Wounded Knee, the first Wounded Knee. Okay? Her husband is a veteran. I think that she is a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Her return to her lands in that place, in that specific place, is like a veteran coming home.
Yeah.
People came to see her and pay their respects like a veteran returning after a war with a Purple Heart.
Mm-hmm.
That's who Mary is. That's who her family is. They're a Gold Star family in native speak, if you will. And in American speak, if you won't, because they are also veterans.
Exactly.
Okay? So let me tell you. We judge. We don't know, but we judge. We judge people. And Kathleen Bennett is a water protector. I want for you to see next, what do we have? All of the people in the pictures. We got Brandy Paisano, the lady that we saw in that Veterans Respond picture.
Mm-hmm.
All the way to the right.
Yep.
Here she is. Her avatar or her profile there is a picture of her and her son. I find this really interesting because it reminds me of Eve Pizzamiglio and her profile picture with her tiny 3-year-old child, who she also has a Facebook page for on her own, which I think is illegal.
Oh, I see.
But remember when she was saying that Eve Pizzamiglio Chen from Activate Now, that Ed Higgins was a terrible person and that he'd committed crimes that he could go to jail for and that they're getting rid of him because they can't deal with that guy. And then she was like talking all this smack about how I'm dangerous because we posted the public records of where she listed the business of Activate Now.
Yeah, we didn't list it. She did. She
Right.
listed it as their home, and we're just showing the public records that
I just find it a little exploitative of these folks because I don't see anything wrong with her posting a picture of herself in veteran garb, which if you can't see the pictures, if you're listening in the radio world, she is wearing camo. And then there's a video of her, which I'm not going to show you, but there's a link to that website. Here's a, do you have a link to that? Or, do you have the website thing? Did you show
was that the
wolf thing?
Oh yeah, I have that somewhere.
Can you show them that? It's called White Wolf. All of this wolf imagery is really freaking me out. Okay, what's the wolf's den? The white wolf. I mean, there's a lot of wolf things. Okay, here's a link. You can go check it out for yourself. Wait, that's not it. Where is it? Did you find it?
I will.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I think I showed it to you earlier. And it is the White Wolf Pack. That's what it is. White Wolf Pack. And
there it is.
yeah, and if you go to this website, I wish you would have shown people more of the stuff on the page. There's some videos on this, and I'll share the link on our comments section, and it'll also be available along with the podcast for the show, so you can go check it out for yourself. But I will tell you that there's a video of her. It's only like 23 seconds long, and I almost want to plug myself into the board so you can hear it from my computer. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Does that allow me to do it? Okay, guys. Okay.
You have to plug that in though and get the thing up so you can have sound.
Okay, I'm doing it. Okay, everybody ready? This is, you can't see the video, but I'm just going to tell you that she is crying. This woman right there, she's wearing a pink hat, and she's wearing a camo, and she's crying. And this was posted to CBS News. CBS News, folks.
I signed up to serve my country and my people, and I did that overseas. I didn't think I'd have to do it here, on this land.
And there's another one where she says, veteran Brandy Paisano says she has an 8-year-old son, and part of the reason she is at Occhetti Sacrowing Camp is to make him proud. Proud. Okay, so now I want to go to, I just highly suspect of any of the people that are working around, in and around, or with Ed Higgins on anything.
Yep.
So she took all these pictures of the veterans.
Yep.
I think she was their camera person,
Must have been.
their PR person. She was doing a lot of picture taking out there. So let's take a look at some of these pictures. This one was from December 2nd, and you can see there is a lineup of a lot of veterans on the bridge, and all the way to the right, just look for the shortest person there. There's Ed Higgins.
Yep.
Can you recognize him?
Yep.
And then, do you see the guy that's in the poncho? That's right there in the front. Pay attention to the guy in the poncho. And then almost the third from the left, it's very dark, but the third one from the left with some sunglasses on his hat, that's Michael Marcus, folks. Now let's go to the next picture. Here we are. Same picture, guys. See the guy with the poncho all the way to the right?
Yep.
See that it's the same picture? Only in this one, you can tell who's in it. We could tell that Ed Higgins was in the other one.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the good picture. They just cut him out
Yeah,
of
they
it.
keep on cutting them out of pictures.
I think Brandy did that. I'm starting to think it was Brandy.
Mm-hmm.
And there he is, Michael Marcus, standing square, front and center. Notice who they put front and center. Notice who quickly takes the lead in the camps in doing live streams and being these water protector heroes of the movement from this veterans group. Okay? Next. There he is, prominently featured in this picture. He was prominently featured in lots of things. There's a reason for that, folks. And who was his right-hand person? Mike Fassig.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, where's Fassig at?
Yeah.
How come he ain't up there?
Exactly.
He ain't a veteran?
Hmm.
Okay, next. Look, there is another picture by Brandy Paisano. Same bridge, okay? Looks like it's dark. Look who's that person right behind Michael Marcus. Okay? You see that person holding up a phone?
Mm-hmm.
That's Evan Duke.
Okay.
That's Evan Duke. And who's he very close to? Who does he work next to? Ed Higgins. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention, folks. And next what we have is, there he is again. Same bridge picture. Same dudes next to each other. Right there is Michael Marcus. And the next, here are some pictures on the bridge with the burned out vehicles. Okay? Now, here you see the back of Michael Marcus. You see that's Brandy Paisano's pictures. Now this is from November 29th, I think.
Yeah.
This is earlier. The previous pictures we were just looking at on the bridge were from December 2nd. We're going backwards in time. We keep going backwards in time.
Yep.
All through this show, I'm taking you backwards in time so you can see the progression of things. Okay? Now, next, I've got, oh, look, Grizzly and Mowgli. How come Veterans Respond, Veterans Group, is featuring these two people directly involved with kidnapping an elder and putting an innocent Oglala Lakota woman in jail for 6 months? Huh? How come they're in the front and center of the picture? Next, please. And here's Mowgli. Notice there's a group of people. They're on that bridge. Look all the way over to the right in that poncho with the glasses. There's Grizzly again. Okay? And next, I want you to notice the same guy, Grizzly, holding some kind of canister in his hand. Right? And then there's, he's holding that shield, like some kind of a cardboard or some kind of a shield he's holding up, taped up. Notice his hat. He's got that red, where's Waldo stripy hat on. And he's wearing camo, and he's got this like gigantic mask. It's bigger than his head. He looks like he's going to turn into Iron Man at any moment. And then, here's the next picture. There he is, sitting on the ground, looking so forlorn. And it says over to the right, there's a post. Brandy Paisano posted this, and it says, at Standing Rock Reservation. And then she tags him, Rogue Mowgli. Just in case you weren't sure, it was him, and that they are all connected to each other. They talk to each other, that they are friends of each other. Remember who else he's friends with? Remember when he came on our show recently to say he's still friends with Rowena Shining Star Wilson.
Yes.
And her daughter, Tiffany Reyes. Remember, Grizzly's name is Ramon Reyes. Okay? I don't know if they're related, but I ain't ruling it out. And Mowgli's name is Eric S. Johnson. Look him up. He's got a long rap sheet. This guy. And he's got all these very stoic poses. He was very prominently featured. I was told by an insider source at the camp he was also authorized to speak to Morton County, so he frequently was in communication with Morton County.
Wow.
He is one of those people that turn state's evidence against water protectors. So is Marcus. Two known informants. Two known informants. Part of the veterans groups. All I'm saying is two known informants on the security teams that are part of the veterans groups. Next. Here's another picture where he's holding something in his hand. And he has an injury that's wrapped up. Very dramatic picture. And he's got his mask over his face the entire time as if we can't tell who is really under there. Who is that masked man with the Where's Waldo hat on? The binoculars that seem to be there just for a prop.
Yeah.
And the oversized
jacket. With his little hands poking out.
I know, it's so funny. Oh my God. And then here's the next picture. Here he is with a flag, right? Then here's Mowgli with another guy that's holding a different flag. And look at what it says down there. Casey Chamberlain says, "Aw, my son, lol. I adopted him, sent him a care package today with an entire uniform." Like the camos he's wearing?
Yeah.
Is she the proud mom that sent him that overgrown stuff? He looks like a toddler wearing his dad's clothes. It's funny. Okay, then, this is the group of people on that bridge. And look, there's a man in a wheelchair. I bet that man is Grizzly's father. You know why I know that that's probably Grizzly's father? Because Grizzly was there on the bridge, as you saw, right? And this man is up on the front lines. This is one of the people that took an elder woman and her mom and put them in a hospital, kidnapped her, put her in the hospital, and left her there to die. And these people were accusing Kathleen, who cared for her mother, like she cared for her own child, as she told us herself, who never let her mom out of that tarpy, who provided her with every care and comfort that she needed so that she could be there at this momentous occasion in history and ceremony and prayer to enjoy the drumming and the music at the camp. And Grizzly, this hypocritical man, had his father on the front lines for a photo op? And he can't even walk? He's in a wheelchair? Oh my God. The irony.
Yes.
The irony. So next I want you to go to, what's next?
Grizz and family.
Oh yeah. Let's show you, let's remind you. Here's Grizzly and Mowgli at the front of that group of people that they showed the picture of from behind, where his dad is probably sitting in that wheelchair. And here's a picture of them at camp, folks. Check it out. Here's Grizzly's dad in his wheelchair, in that puffy black coat. Do you see the puffy black coat, folks? Do you remember the man sitting in the chair had a puffy black coat on? Okay, I hope you're paying attention, because I am. And there's Grizzly in the back. Go back to that, please. Go back to that other photo. There's Grizzly in the background. I don't know who those other people are. I think that's Mowgli. It is Mowgli. Mowgli's standing right there with the red bandana next to Ramon Reyes. Eric Johnson and Ramon Reyes took a woman with dementia who was perfectly healthy and completely mobile and threw her in a hospital to die. But they took their father that's missing a leg in a wheelchair to the front line actions. on the bridge. Wow. What a bunch of effing hypocrites you are. Disgusting. And then next we have, there's the dad in a standing position. There's Mowgli right in front. The dad is wearing the puffy coat. Once again, looks like they're all wearing these puffy coats except for Grizzly. There's Grizzly wearing his hat. Check it out. And don't you forget who Grizzly's parents are and who Grizzly is. He's Christina Hollenbeck's boyfriend, everybody. Look, there they are all together. Mrs. Reyes, Mr. Reyes, their son, Ramon Reyes in the back, and Christina Hollenbeck with her peeps. Maybe that's why she posted on Instagram a picture where she's talking about indigenous people that are there, her aunties and her uncles, not her father-in-law and her mother-in-law, but her auntie and her uncle. You show that, please? My uncle and my auntie that are native, obviously very, very native, came to support me today at Ocheti Sakowing. Part of the reason this place feels like home, because, in a way, because these values and ways are the way we were raised. Here we make families instantaneously. What, through infusion? What are you talking about, white lady? Here we are kind, compassionate, accountable, prayerful, and caring of ourselves and the collective. It's okay to make mistakes because you'll have the people around you to help you get up and redirect. Remember when I first saw this, I was like, she's a white woman.
Yes, yes.
How is she, what is she talking about? My uncles and my aunties. Oh, she's sleeping with Grizzly.
Yeah.
So she thinks she's native now. She's having a relationship with a native, so that makes her native by infusion. I don't think that's how it works. And I didn't hear they were married. Was there another special Lakota marriage that I missed?
Probably.
Because Olive got married to Marcus, remember? She had a Lakota marriage. And she became a native person out there at the camp. Because she wasn't when she got there, but she did become one. And a pipe carrier and a sun dancer. She got native quick. So did Fassig. He became native fast.
Yep.
Like in a second. And then we have Christina arriving at camp. Now, let me tell you, I'm going to show you some messages she sent to Wesley Clark Jr. I'm going to show you a teaser tonight, but I'm going to show you more later because I'm going to wrap up the show here soon. Guess what else I'm going to show you in my next show? I'm going to show you the pictures of Grizzly sitting with Mulaney's daughter at St. Alexia's Hospital on the 19th of December. After they took this woman and put her in that hospital, they're all sitting around guarding her. And Christina was there. Mulaney was out there. They were all hanging out together. They did this together. Okay? Veterans. Prominently featured by this Veterans Respond and the Veterans Stand group. And Ed Higgins and these people that were all working together with veterans. And Michael A. Wood Jr. So don't tell me that you don't know who was doing what out there. There was clearly a chain of command, and you have some responsibility to take, Michael A. Wood Jr., and so do you, Sadef. I'm sorry. But you guys put a bunch of people in danger. You had a bunch of people go out there and commit crimes. Turn state's evidence against water protectors, and it wasn't just Kathleen Bennett, and nearly killed an elder. That's not okay. You don't get to walk away from that without any consequences. And I'll also be showing you some of Michael A. Wood Jr.'s financials. And you'll be able to see how much of that money that he got that he hasn't spent.
Wow.
Maybe he'll run out and spend it real quick now that he knows that I'm going to show people. Or maybe he could just start answering some questions about why he abandoned those people out there, told people that Wesley did it, and basically threw Wes under the bus so that he could take the fall for what you and your veterans groups did. And all of this rebranding doesn't change the fact that y'all are hiding something, that you endangered people, and that you need to show us some transparency now. So let's go to this RT video on November 20th, because I want to remind you folks that Christina Hollenbeck became an instant star. She got to camp the 20th.
Yeah.
And on the 21st, she was a medic. She was suddenly transformed into a medic, like Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Wonder Woman! And she transformed into a medic, and she was out on the bridge saving people, just like Mulaney.
Yep.
Just like Mulaney, she was out there saving folks, becoming a medic, but she got on RT television.
Yeah.
If you go find the article, it says they identified her as a medic, so either she lied to them, like Mulaney did, or they were just really shoddy reporters, and they put her down as a medic when she wasn't.
Yeah.
But here she is reporting as if she was a medic out there. And by the way, how in the hell does she show up, end up becoming a medic overnight when she showed up on the 20th? She shows up at camp on the 20th. She's already a medic. You know what Jesse Sankey told us? Jesse Sankey told us that they had a vetting process for the Medic and Healer Council where it took you a week or something like that. Josh spoke to this at one point because he told me that Jesse was kind of annoyed. He wanted to show up at camp and get to work and start helping people, but they wouldn't let him. But Christina Hollenbeck, they let her.
Yep.
She just ran out there. She didn't even have any medical degree or anything. She just ran out there and became a medic, and she was saving people's lives. And she was on the news the next day with RT television. Isn't that interesting? That seems really interesting to me.
Just pulling people off the front line. So literally, you just from out of the smoke, you would just hear somebody say medic transport, and you just go in and they would just pile people in the back of your truck. There's already ice outside the water, so it's already freezing water, and spraying it onto the protesters in under, it's like about 21 degrees last night. So we had massive amounts of hypothermia. They were tear gassing, macing, as well as rubber bullets. When they pulled out the tear gas, a number of the canisters hit people. So we were dealing with projectiles. I mean, the rubber bullets were hitting people in their head, were hitting people in their legs. One elder that I was taking back and forth had gotten hit in the chest with a projectile.
Wow.
And by the way, folks, she's still real friendly with Wikanya Skawi, which is now Mulaney's new Facebook name. They still post on each other's things. They're like, "Hey, girl, how you doing?" Because she loves hanging out with kidnappers and people that try to kill elderly people.
Yeah, and you got to remember that she was the one who produced all these witness statements. She's the one that emailed all this stuff to the investigators in Morton County. She was talking to Morton County, and as we've done these shows, some people have come forward and they're like, "That wasn't my information," things like that. This is the woman who sent all this in. This is the kingpin of actually putting Kathleen in jail.
I don't know why Vanessa Bolin, when she was at the D.C. Women's March with her having lunch, didn't punch her in the face and go, "Hey, why did you forge a document and give it to the police on my behalf?" They looked real friendly with each other. But Vanessa Bolin's trying to tell you that the people that gave this statement to Morton County are liars? Well, it was Christina helping them do it. It was Mulaney helping them gather them. So why aren't you fighting with the people that you were with? Why are you still hanging out with those same people and hanging out in all these different places, the latest of which was Hawaii?
Exactly.
I heard Chase Iron Eyes made it out there. Did you make it out there to be with Mulaney, Chase? You shouldn't have. No, really, you shouldn't have.
Yep.
But I'm going to be bringing you more about what these brave veterans with Veterans Stand, Veterans Respond, and Beyond not only did to this woman of this family of water protectors, Kathleen Bennett and her family, but also what they were doing out at the camp. Because Marcus and his crew where Lighten Building is on fire. We're going to be bringing you more of that. I've got so much more coming up. The connections between Mulaney and Grizz and Mowgli and the hospital. All of this on our upcoming shows here on A Mexican Crossing Lines on 88.1 FM, KPPPLP Fargo Moorhead, where we are adding local color to your airwaves. Stick around for the next episodes. Don't forget, put that hashtag free Kathleen Bennett everywhere. And also, do not forget that you have until Friday to add your name to the raffle if you want to be one of only 20 people that will earn one of these eagle feather necklaces. You can do so by donating to Kathleen Bennett's Defense Fund by going to our website and clicking on the raffle link.
Exactly.
It's as simple as that. Then you click here to donate for the raffle. Each entry of $10 will gain you one name of one entry into the bowl. And tonight's winner again was Linda Hampton. Congratulations. We'll see you on Friday for the next raffle and the next show here on KPPPLP. Thanks for listening. Minnie Wachoni. Water is life.